First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Raquah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to your brothers out there on the highways and byways that's noising this word abroad and that's doing this work sincerely, diligently, and faithfully. Yeah, I want to get into this quick lesson real quick. It's going to be called Is Every Man for Themselves in This Truth? What do I mean by that? I know we're all one body according to this thing. When we come into this thing, we're all one body. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's your salvation and it's your work, So it's going to be determined. You're going to be tested, to see, what kind of man are you in this truth when you're on your own, you know what I mean? When you're put out there on your own, when you're out there to fend for yourself, when you're cast out from congregation of brothers, So it's going to be, and that's when it's going to be known that if you truly are a man of the Lord or not, because for the scripture says right here in the book of Philippians chapter 2 verse 12, wherefore my beloved, as ye has always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You know what I mean? And the scripture says exactly that. It says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You're on your own. Your works and what you do is between you and Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. No other man could get in between that. You know what I mean? Could get in between your faith, because it's about you. It's about what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. If the command gives, where you have to be faithful, that's just surely that. For scripture says, faith without works is dead. You're gonna have to prove yourself, and you're gonna have to prove yourself. Whether what I mean, whether with when you're with brothers or if you're on your own, you still gotta prove that faith. You still gotta bear your cross, according to the scriptures. You still gotta fight that fight. At the end of the day, it's not an easy fight, because you get tested in this thing, and certain things come up, you may be tested, that's just how it works. At the end of the day, you're on your own in this thing. Don't take it that you may need brothers, always by your side. That's not always the case, because the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. You know what I mean? The time of Jacob's trouble is right at a hand. And you're not gonna have brothers that is gonna be with you in your day of trouble. You know what I mean? You may be tested. You know what I mean? You may be on your own. You may be faced with the reality of, you know what I mean? You either take this chip or die. You know what I mean? And brothers may not be right there by your side holding your hand at the end of the day. At the end of the day, once you grow in this thing, once you're strong enough, you know what you got to do. You know the scriptures, you know what to bring out. You know what I mean? You got to be prepared, to stand on your own 2 feet. You know what I mean? You got to prepare yourself, because a day might come where, next thing you know, an order might come down, or might come down and say, look, you're on your own. You're out the camp. You're out this camp. You know what I mean? You got to prove yourself, and you got to be prepared to stand on your own 2 feet. You know what I mean? And be prepared to carry on the Lord's work, regardless of any circumstance that you may find yourself in. So at the end of the day, this is not an easy thing, because it says in the book, let me get that scripture real quick. So this is the book of Sirach, the second chapter in the first verse. It says, "My son, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." You got to prepare yourself, like I said, and set that heart upright and constantly endure. You got to constantly endure, regardless the circumstances that may come up. And make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away. It says, cleave unto the Most High and depart not away. So, even in the time of trouble, situation may come up where a brother may have to, cast a lot, But like I said, it could either make you or it could break you. If it has to take for a brother to cast a lot, to exile you out of the camp, that's exactly what's gonna happen, and that's exactly what the Lord, prescribes. But it's up to you as a man of the Lord if you're gonna continue in this thing or not. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at that last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low state. You know what I mean? You're going to be reduced to a low state in this thing. Verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him. Yeah, you got to believe. You know what I mean? You got to truly believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And he will help thee. Order thy way upright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. You know what I mean? If you keep believing in the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, your reward will not fail. You know what I mean? You got to believe. And part of that belief, if you're being tested, beyond your means, you still got to believe and hold fast. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, this war is not done yet. You still got to battle. You still got a job to do. You still got to carry on as a man of the Lord. It's just like, when you're in when you're at war, with your brothers, y'all fighting and y'all dashing, you may get separated. You may get separated, from your brothers, and you may be on your own. At the end of the day, you still got to believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You still got to believe that you will survive and persevere. And then later on, you'll be reunited and be one again with your brothers, So, verse 8, ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever displeased that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and full of mercy and long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveness of sins, and saveth in the time of affliction. You know what I mean? You're going to be delivered in the time of your affliction. You just got to be patient, and you just got to ride out the storm. You know what I mean? For this is not an easy thing, When you come in this thing, you will be tested, However, brothers may have an easier route, or, if you may be the one, that has all hell and calamity coming upon you, from every different direction, it's up to you to persevere and still believe, in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that he'll deliver you. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is just going to be a quick lesson, a quick lesson. And Lord's will, I hope this word was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakwah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to your brothers out there in the highways and byways that's noising this word abroad. And just take heed. And with that, I will say shalom.